Hey there, everyone. That sexy nerd is back again. And we're finally here. We're at the final Pirates of the Caribbean movie. And I mean, doesn't it just kind of fart away into existence? I don't know. I mean, this movie's okay. I remember, but I've only seen it once. And usually when I don't see a movie only once, I'm like, didn't need to see it again. I mean, again, I've seen At World's End multiple times, but this one only once, and I know it's been like a war. It's been like a war this past few weeks, like just with trying to figure out which Pirates movie is like the least bad, and then the least worse, or whatever. It's been actually been a lot of fun, and I like all you sounding off in the comments. So I thank you guys for doing that. It really helps me out, and keep on doing it, especially if the videos are interesting. Smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and really content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And let's do this thing, y'all.
Avast me, mateys! Hunter S. Sparrow here, wrapping up Pirates Month. Joining me as always is my crew of sparrows. Avast me, unsavvy savvies! There's still so much more plundering to...
Still?
What?
Are we still doing the Jack Sparrow thing?
Aye, it is still Pirates Month!
Yeah, like 5 weeks ago.
Which in internet time is like 5 years ago.
Come on, man, we're on like the final one.
Exactly. Nobody cared about Pirates by the time the last one came out.
Preposterous. How could you forget about the final installment, Pirates of the Caribbean...
Die Harder?
Electric Boogaloo?
Golden Receiver.
The Search for Curly's Gold?
No, I'm pretty sure there's a squeakle involved.
Just admit it, no one cared about the Pirates movies by the time the last one came out.
Okay, that may be true. But we have a code to follow.
It's more like a guideline.
Well, either way, we're following it, so get a costume!
I was forced to see it.
While we wait for them, let's look over the final Pirates movie, Pirates of the Caribbean. Back in the habit, red, white, and blonde, the revenge of Kitty Galore. God, I'm tired of speaking through my teeth.
Okay, it's Dead Men Tell No Tales, but for some reason on Disney Plus they changed it to Salazar's Revenge. So not even Disney knows what the name is.
That's what it's called! While Stranger Tides didn't pull in the numbers they wanted, Disney thought they still might be able to squeeze out one more Pirates movie. The only problem was, it came out in 2017. The fad had died down, and audiences were finally getting Pirates fatigue. And honestly, as Pirates movies go, this isn't the worst one.
It's not.
I can't say it's very good, and a lot is due to similar problems from the sequels, but it does have a handful of good scenes in it. It's not forgettable like Stranger Tides, it's not a homework assignment like At World's End, but it is a lot more of the tired elements we've seen a million times in these movies. However, as those tired elements go, there are one or two moments of creative life to it. How do these scenes get bogged down by an onslaught of meh? Well, we're gonna take a closer look to find out. With the help, of course, of my visual representation of a popular fad.
Hey! Who is your favorite fearless hero?
I mean a past fad.
Yeah, but fads are meant to be passed on.
Everything now is Puss in Boots 2, baby!
Well, if you can't beat them harder. Wrap up Pirates Month with Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Get a good look at that, everybody, because you will constantly keep asking yourself, what are they looking for in this movie again? Yeah, well, this one's not quite as complicated as the other sequels. It's still complicated. As we open with Will Turner's son, Henry, rowing his boat into the sea. Keep an eye out for Noose's kid. These sequels are not very kind to boys your age. Or you can just kill yourself and knock out the middleman. That works. He's actually doing this to get the attention of his father, as Will Turner saves him aboard the Flying Dutchman. And you know what? I've been pretty mean to this character. Yeah, maybe I've shit on him too.
I think actually I was late to this movie, and I never saw. Oh my god! I never saw the true beginning of this movie. I just realized that right now because I never saw that scene. I had no idea that scene happened in this movie.
Too much for being so bland and unnecessary. Why don't I start over and give him a fair shot again?
You stay away from Jack. Leave the sea forever.
That's the voice he's using! Oh, this file just got opened back up. New comedic evidence has come to light!
You have to stop acting like
A pirate?
my curse will never be broken. This ship is full of pufferfish, ready to believe in good.
He says he wants to find the Trident of Poseidon to lift his curse, but he's told it's impossible. Cut to 9 years later, as once more this series says, we must have a Turner in this for some reason. So let's make it his offspring, Son of Bland. Played now by Brenton Thwaites.
Sir, look at your charts. I believe you're sailing us into the Devil's Triangle.
It's like a mix between the Bermuda Triangle and the Triangle of Sadness. We can't take any more heavy-handedness.
This is treason.
I had no idea that this was Will Turner's son the entire movie. No idea. I must have missed like the first few minutes of this movie. That's crazy.
And this is my treat, son. Of course, Henry is right, and the ship is slaughtered by a supernatural entity known as Captain Salazar, played by Javier Bardem. Yo-ho, friendo.
The compass which he holds condemned us to this hell on earth. I want to behold the daylight again.
I'm sorry, you sound like an asthmatic Spanish ASMR drive-thru. Yeah, sadly Bardem is kind of like Machine from the last movie. I love this actor, but he doesn't add anything. Listen to his first line.
What are you? Death.
Isn't that the most generic line said in the most generic way? I also think while the hair's still moving like it's underwater is neat, it's way too distracting.
Yeah.
Bardem is good at either subtle expressions or over-the-top expressions. You want to see his face, and the hair just keeps getting in the way. It's like watching him in Skyfall, but his face is covered in internet ads. I guess I can look past it, but I shouldn't have to.
Now, it's time to hunt a pirate.
They put a distracting filter on his voice, too. His voice is already awesome. You don't need it. Rather than all this adding to his performance, it really feels like it takes away from it. Pretty much everything around this character is either underwhelming or at the most, fine.
I think that's I totally agree. Like, you barely remember him in this movie, and he's a huge actor. I was excited to see him in there. I'm like, oh, they're gonna have Javier Bardem in this movie? Okay, maybe it'll probably be good. That's the only reason why I saw it.
Walking on water is neat. The ship and crew, I guess, are creative, but they just look and act like another ghostly pirate threat. Do they really stand out much from Barbossa or Jones's crew? Can you even tell the difference right away in this lineup? Nothing feels upped, especially 14 years after the original. Speaking of which, where's our ladies can't do that character?
I confess that I am not a witch, that I am a woman of science, with nothing but a diary from a father I never knew.
I confess I'm full of exposition. We all are, my child. This is Karina, played by Kaya Scalario, who, like everyone else, isn't bad. She just has little to go off of. She's clearly smart and knows about astronomy, so everyone calls her a witch. But darn it, she's not a witch! And that's her whole character.
Am I a witch for having catalogued over 200 stars?
Witch!
Yeah, once again defining someone by what she isn't rather than what she is. With that said, some repeats are welcomed. Like Jack Sparrow once again gets a pretty funny intro. What Depp's lawyers saw every morning when they came to get payment for the trial.
Pretty much.
It looks like he's not alone though.
Hold your fire!
That's your wife. Change my mind, open fire!
Francis?
Jeez, I figured you had a sense of humor.
After all, you married her.
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
Well, I don't quite see the math and how that many horses could pull an entire building. I have to say this action sequence is pretty fun.
It is actually.
It's cool because it looks like it's mostly done with practical effects and not CG. And I also have to admit, I'm glad they're finally putting color back in these movies. This at least doesn't pretend it's a black and white film soaked in Linda Blair puke. On that note, whenever it's not a practical effect in the UCG, it's usually not real enough or surreal enough to be impressive. How many horses are pulling that again? While that's going on, Karina sneaks into several different places to find the answer she's looking for. Well, I can see a lawsuit from her coming soon.
Oh.
No woman's ever handled my Herschel.
Penis!
It is kind of cool that not only do they bring back the crew from the original trilogy, but also took a few from the last film.
Yeah.
And I thought they were funny actors, and I'm glad they're given another movie to be in.
Okay.
For the moment.
Right then. Never sail with Captain Jack Sparrow again. Tell you that.
Come lads, if there's anything Disney has taught us is that there's always room for more adventure, whether we want them or not. Karina meets up with Henry. As it turns out, they're both after the same thing.
This is the diary of Galileo Galilei. It was left to me by...
Seriously, Disney, can't you just come up with new ideas? Can't you just take a break? Why do you gotta make so much money? You probably will make more money if you spend time making your shit. You never learned your lesson, Disney. Like, literally, it's because Disney, the damn Disney Renaissance happened because they kept churning crap out all the time. Oh my god. They're so greedy. It's greed.
My father. He believed I could find what no man has ever found.
A pirate movie under 2 hours. Keep looking. She gets caught though. Oh man, if only she had a rope! And Jack roams the streets without a crew. Like I said, the non-CG slapstick's pretty good. In one of my favorite moments, Jack is desperate for booze, so he trades his compass for rum, knowing it has a curse that if he gives it away, it'll unleash his greatest fear, which surprisingly is an American box office. I kind of love he knows he's unleashing more torment for himself, and all he has to say is,
Pirate's life.
yeah, that's pretty badass.
Who's the man we've been looking for?
Jack gets, say it with me now, captured! When Henry finds him and says he needs his help.
The moon has turned to blood, the trident will be found, and you could be the one who holds the sea and with it become all that you once were.
That is a great impression of me whenever exposition is talked about. You know it's like 90% of the dialogue in these movies, right? In kind of a weird switch-up, Keith Richards doesn't return as his dad, but instead we have Paul McCartney as his uncle.
Uncle Jack! Jackie boy!
This is gonna sound blasphemous. I actually like this cameo better.
Really?
It's short, intentionally pointless, just the right amount of odd. It doesn't make me laugh with the joke he tells, but rather the reaction from another guy with the joke he tells.
Kevin goes into a bar, orders a beer and a mop.
I don't care what anyone says, that laugh is the funniest thing in the movie. The next 10 minutes or so in this is
Why did that make me laugh so much? Why did I not watch this movie again? It's actually kind of good.
It's actually pretty goddamn great. Jack and Karina are about to be executed, argue like children for who can get the better final words, and are kinda saved by Henry. Sanctuary! With the help of Jack's crew. The choreography and imaginative slapstick in this is so good. It actually feels like something out of the first 2 pirate movies. It's honestly so funny, it kinda gets me angry because it tricks me into thinking there's hope for the rest of the movie. Even the name of the ship they sail off in is hilarious. Son of a bitch, don't do this to me, movie! I know you're gonna suck the rest of the time! The only thing that could give me even more hope is... Okay, I need a minute to appreciate the few fleeting moments of this movie being good.
That's what I was saying.
It's gonna suck later.
Not much.
It's gonna suck later. So Barbosa still has Blackbeard's ship from the last movie, but he's intercepted by Salazar.
Every time I tap my sword, one of your men will die.
Boy, you really don't know this guy, do you?
No, seriously.
Whatever you do, don't kill Frank. Thank God I hated Frank.
I be the only one that can lead you to it.
They agree to find Sparrow together as Jack tries to get the map no man can read from Karina.
If you could read it, then it wouldn't be called the map no man can read.
Give me the map.
It doesn't yet exist. I'm an astronomer.
She breeds donkeys.
There's no donkey.
Then how do you breed them? Let me start again.
Stop pretending this is clever! She reveals the map is in the stars, which none of them understand, despite that being a very common method ships use to find their way. And they decide to cut them loose. Back on land, the captain of the guard, played by David Wenham, uses an actual witch, played by She's barely in this, so I'm not going to butcher that. As our two lovebirds reveal why they're on their quest.
It's the only link to who I am and my father was.
So we've both spent our lives searching for our fathers.
Maybe we have the same father.
You need to stop talking.
Yeah, I need to stop talking. Meanwhile, Salazar reveals how Jack bested him when he became captain of a ship as a team. And in fact, that sometimes looks good, but other times looks like Bella Ramsey.
Ship to the earth!
They find Jack's ship, and I do love how there's a permanent rain cloud over them, like the whole ship is Eeyore. And they send zombie sharks after them. Now, zombie sharks sounds like a fun idea, but again, they're shot like we're supposed to believe they're really there. Like they show them in slow motion so we can be wowed by them, and don't you just feel nothing looking at that? Yeah. You could put CGI Scooby-Doo in there and I'd be the same amount of blown away. Come on, guys, let's head out before they make a tornado out of us. Now, there is a scene where Jack uses one to pull his boat. That's fun because it's not relying on looking real, it's relying on looking creative. But sometimes the movie can be a little too creative. Like I looked down to reply to a text message, and when I looked back up, this was going on.
It's your wedding day.
Boys, let's get on with this.
You may kiss the bride.
Are we just in a different Pirates movie now? What happened in those few seconds I looked away? This random character that I don't think we've ever seen lives on this island with a bunch of other randos. Jack owes him a debt like he does to everyone, and he wants him to marry his sister. All of this is explained in seconds and tossed aside just as quickly. Hell, I think I actually took more time to explain it than the movie did.
Jack, we meet again.
I've come once again to save a movie that probably can't be saved.
I've come for the Trident of Poseidon.
The film just pretends the past weird-ass 2 minutes didn't happen. Yeah, it's kind of like Eternals to the MCU. And Barbossa demands the pearl back, which Jack keeps in a bottle from the last film. This is what everyone thought Sea Monkeys would do. Our heroes get captured again, and you know, I hope these two got paid extra for rope burn. They spend more time tied up than a 50 Shades graphic novel by William Marston.
She will follow her star, or we'll all die together.
Barbossa releases Karina, though, and orders her to guide them to their treasure. And looking back, it's not that they don't mention the Triton that much, it's more they don't focus on what it can do and why it drives them. In the first few films, we constantly see why the pirates want to lift the curse, why Will wants to save Elizabeth, why Jack wants to be free of Jones. But once again, like the majority of the sequels, we're just told about it here. Nothing is really felt. The closest scene might be this exchange between Karina and Barbossa. As he puts together, he might share a certain connection with her.
This was given to me by my father. He was clearly a man of science.
Scurvy science, as he called it.
This diary is my birthright.
Birthright? You can take a bath whenever you want. I will not start now. He confesses to Jack she may in fact be his daughter.
Shall I tell you now who what we both know to be true?
Who knew my little bowsman could swim? You mean seaman? Yeah, I wanted to mix up the wordplay. Isn't working. Also, like you right now. Touche. Salazar catches up to them in what should be a really cool action sequence, jumping in between ships and fighting off a statue at the bow is sadly kind of lame because while the day shots are bright and colorful, the night shots are flat and murky, almost like, you guessed it, a pirate sequel. They make up for this a little bit though, as after they fight them off, they reach their destination, an island that perfectly reflects the stars.
Finish it, Karina.
For my father.
I do it for him.
Again, scenes like this do make it rough to say there's nothing to this movie.
It's because
returning the red crystal opens up the waters, revealing the Triton. Wait, I remember how this goes. Doesn't Julie Andrews voice a sea monster and someone walk through a waterfall? Actually, maybe Depp shouldn't stay around for that. You know, for someone who didn't watch the trial, I sure do make a lot of jokes about it. Salazar takes over Henry's body because I guess he can do that. But he leaves the body when he gets a hold of the Triton. What the hell did he say? You leave that homicidal thingman alone. They figure out breaking the Triton breaks every curse at sea, so they do that and Salazar becomes a real boy. I guess that means the curse of the water is broken too. I don't know. And the ship tries to pull them up without somehow falling in themselves. Salazar follows them, though, vowing to get revenge, so Barbossa sacrifices himself to take him down. Which makes sense. How the hell is he gonna climb with a peg leg?
Who am I to you?
treasure. I was hoping to sell you at a fair price, but I don't think that flies anymore.
Barbossa gets killed off. I know. As Karina finally puts together her connection to him. So, my father's dead because Jack wanted a bottle of rum. Forgettable. I should have gotten tequila. Now! Jack sails off into the sunset, and Henry meets up with his father, who has been lifted from his curse.
Oh.
Henry. Yes, father.
You either die a hero, or live long enough to see yourself become a franchise.
So it's a happy day for the dull pirate Roberts. Even Elizabeth appears to say, hey, Elizabeth appeared, despite being only 4 years older than her supposed son is. This does raise the question, though, if the curse is lifted, who takes people to the afterlife? Well, set course for sequel baiting as we get this end credit sequence. That's right, Davy Jones! Should stay as far away from this as Depp is right now. This isn't the worst sequel, but it's still not very good.
What?
Now,
why?
This isn't the worst sequel, but it's still not very good. There are a handful of moments that make it fun from time to time, but nowhere near enough to say it's worth checking out. I guess it's a better note to end on than the previous two, but that still doesn't make it a great note. A shame, because these movies started out with a lot of promise, but somewhere got lost focusing on the wrong things. Complicated plots, forced in characters or character types, pretending this was all one planned out story, when honestly I think we all would have been fine with each movie just standing on its own.
Why not?
However you rank these films, it is still impressive that from an idea many considered a sellout or half-baked, rose an iconic franchise that people will remember years from now. That later would become a sellout and half-baked. But what can Disney say? That's a pirate's life. And that's about it for Pirates Month. For real this time. Stay scurvy, me mates, and until next time, maybe I'll review this bad next.
Spiral. I hate Spiral. Oh man, yo, if he does Puss in Boots, I'm gonna be so happy. Oh man, I still want to get my reaction out to you guys. I've been putting the clips out there. That I have clips from my review, but you know, I haven't been able to get it out there. It's been really hard. But yeah, Pirates Month is finally over, and what are we gonna do? And I'm actually kind of gonna miss it. It was actually a lot of fun. But yeah, that's what I'm probably gonna do. Hopefully, we'll get to Bat Month as well. Maybe I'll do all the rest of the Batman movies and everything. So, because I mean, I've seen some of them, but I wasn't able to watch all of them. So, and it's around the time this my channel started. So, or like a little bit before my channel started. So, and I really wanted to cover those, and I was so mad too because that's when I really wanted to start. But I had to wait for some equipment, you know. But anyway, hopefully I'll get that out to you soon. And please smash that like button if you want to see more nerdy content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And I'll see you in the next video.